Hey guys, good evening. All right. Hey guys, good evening. Good evening. Please leave me a comment. Let me know where you're joining in from. Today is a cool evening. We're just going to be chatting. Good evening, everyone. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I think I'm having an issue going live on my Instagram handle tonight. So I think there's a problem that way. So I'm going to go live with my Irene Bangor handle. All right. Let me do this. Okay. So I need to make a post. Thank you. So good evening, everyone. Welcome. Mm. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. So I want to just put up a post on Instagram and redirect people to come to my private handle, Irene Bangwell. How do I do this? It's a post. Okay, I think Canva is going to save me. So good evening, Maragus. You just ran into me. Good evening, ma'am. How are you doing? So please, I'm waiting to see comments for people joining in via YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere. Tonight, I'm going live. I just finished doing a bootcamp for girls, and it lasted the entire week, last week. And so I'm sharing an update tonight about some of the things that we learned and what parents can do with some of the information that our experience has afforded us. Welcome, Ever Smiling Me. I like that. So I just need to put up a post because I think I put up a post during the week to contest something, a very terrible video that was going live. That was live at some point, and I put it up on Instagram, and Instagram brought it down immediately. And so I hear that I'm on some temporary small punishment. All right. So let me just tell my Instagram community that they should just come to my own personal handle because I'm on suspension. Father Lord, I beg, please help them to forgive me, okay? So yeah, that does it. I'm going to just put this up. Um oh Lord. So good evening. Please leave me a comment. Let me know where you're joining in from. Let me know where you're joining in from. Let me know where you're joining in from. We had a very good time this week engaging with girls of different ages and just seeing where they're at and everything. And just, just heartwarming experience overall. So tonight I won't be taking a lot of time tonight because um I could use some rest. So I'm just going to just stop for a few minutes, give us some updates, and then send us to our merry way. Go sleep. I don't know if I got this design right. Good evening, Sandra. So it's very rare for me. I don't think I've ever gone live on the handle I'm live now. Hey, my Facebook and YouTube people are live. So if you're watching from YouTube, just be subscribing, okay? While I'm trying to put up this update for my darling Instagram audience. All right. Thank you so very much, everyone, for joining tonight. So, like I mentioned earlier, I just want to give us an update of some of the things we're taking away from the bootcamp that we just held, some of our plans for the future. Parents have been giving us loads of recommendations, and of course, we're a brand that listens, and so I'm going to be sharing a bit of what we have decided to do based on some of the feedback we have received. Well done, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining. Thank you so very much to the people that just stumbled on us and are still joining us tonight. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Okay. So guys, this is it. Let me post this, okay? Holy Spirit, thank you. So that's where we are now, and I'm just waiting for more people to join. Let me try something here on my handle here. Yes, let live video be paused for now. Okay. We're back. So let me post this here. So good evening, everyone. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're joining in from. Let me know where you're joining in from. Please, if you're joining in from YouTube, kindly. So I think I could do this. I'm going to record a video on my phone. Yep. Let me do this and just post. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm trying to go live on the Raising Girls handle. I'm having small drama with Instagram tonight, so I can't go live on my Raising Girls. But under this video, I've tagged another handle that I'm going live on. That's Irene Bangwell. So do well to follow that handle and then join the live session. I apologize for every inconvenience this may cause. All right. So just click the handle I've tagged this on and then join me. Thank you. So I think I can upload this, make it faster. Beautiful. No, 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 no. Coming back here. All right, all right, all right. Discard, 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 discard. At least they're still allowing me to post. The Raising Girls handle. I'm having small drama with Instagram. All right, guys. Hey, DS, let me read. DS, good evening. Hi, Scanu tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Join live session on at Irene.Bangwell. Biko. So let me wait for that auntie to load. Hi, Scanu, this evening. Thank you so much for joining. So, yeah, I think I've been able to do something to get everyone to know where we are at this evening. Let me drop this phone and just, oh, thank you, Heavenly Father. So let's go. Heavenly Father, we thank you for tonight. Thank you for the privilege of hosting the Body Smart Girl Bootcamp Easter edition. Thank you for the things you taught us, are teaching us, and you'll continue to teach us in the days to come. So as we share tonight, give us insights, guide us, guide the entire conversation, and direct us where you need us to be focusing on with our daughters this season. Bring insights in everywhere. Equip us, bring in partnerships, help us find the right people to collaborate with as we work to help, as we work to raise our daughters to be the best version of their lives, especially the way you want them to be. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So let's go. So we started boot camp last week, Tuesday precisely. We started with 3 to 5 year olds. We started with 3 to 5 year olds, and then we had 6 to 8 year olds. and then 9 to 11, and then 12 to 14, and then 15 plus. We actually had two cohorts. We had two cohorts. The whole idea of having two cohorts was so that, some countries, this is not holiday for them. They just had an Easter break. Other countries are still on holiday. So we had to do a weekend class for kids whose states or countries are in school at the moment, just so that they could come, all right? So welcome, that teams, welcome, welcome, welcome. So we started the boot camp, and of course we had an incredible amount of young women coming to hang out with us, excited, enthusiastic about learning, and we're able to learn quite a number of things. So some of the things we learned in the course of the boot camp helped us just pause and think about our own childhood. It's sad to say that some of the ignorance that plagued our childhood still plagues this generation one way or the other. So, for example, we still have kids who don't know so much. We still have kids who are naive. We still have kids who are, and sometimes, yes, we want to preserve their innocence, but naive kids are also prone to, naive kids are also prone to being taken advantage of. Lisa, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please tell us where you're joining from. So naive kids are also prone to abuse. So for instance, a child that is not aware, for instance, a child that is not even aware that an uncle calling them only them out of the playground to take them into their room, a child that is not aware that abuse can occur is prone to those kinds of things. A child that is not aware, that seems is joining from Calabar, thank you so much. So a child that is not aware that abuse can come from an uncle calling them out, a child that is not aware that when someone starts to groom them, a child that is not aware that they're being groomed, they are prone to abuse. They're prone to abuse. Eh? So you still pick that, and sometimes you also see parents also passionately trying to say, I don't want anything to happen to my child. I don't want my child to be exploited. I don't want them to know too much. I see Oprah's mama online. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ifeanyi, for joining us tonight. So welcome OBJ Events. Welcome Zara Unscripted. Thank you so much for coming around this way. So you still see that sex education is not about taking away your child's innocence. It's about managing the naive, their innocence, but at the same time not making them naive. I put up a video yesterday about when children hear something that is not age appropriate, how do you manage? And the mother said, "Oh, she doesn't think that they're still age appropriate because the world is crazy." And I know that extreme as well. And so I said, "Well, you still have to play. It's like you're juggling. You're juggling between exposing your daughter to too much, right? It's about you're not exposing your daughter to too much. At the same time, you're not leaving them completely ignorant, okay? So it just hurt me that there might still be kids that are that ignorant that they don't know when they're being groomed. They don't know. I mean, I have met older kids who don't know that what a particular person is doing to them at the time is abuse. I have been with teens who said he mistakenly touched me. And you want to say, I don't understand. People do not mistakenly touch people. You literally want to shake the child and wake them up and say, people do not mistakenly touch people. But our babies are still naive because many of us are still shying away from the conversations. Many of us are still shying away from the conversation. So the first thing I noticed is that some kids are pretty naive. Now, when children are naive or let me not use naive anymore, when children don't get information from the right sources, what that does is they believe their peers hook, line, and sinker. Like they believe their peers as if their peers are gods. They believe what their peers say because they didn't get any other information. So they feel that their peers are smart. I mean, I had a class with a bunch of teenagers on Sunday. It wasn't for my boot camp. It was also a sex education class. And I had to ask them, why do you always think that adults are dumb? The reason that they think adults are dumb is because when they're starting out life, adults are not providing concrete, accurate information. We're giving them half and half, threatening them to cut the conversation short. And so they go to school, their classmates say stuff, and they feel like, whoa, my classmate is way smarter than my mom. My classmate is way smarter than my dad. I could never ask my mom that. I could never ask my dad that. And when all of those happens, it gives room for them to get the wrong kinds of information. So that's one part. Information is not enough. Information is not enough. Information is half-baked. Information is not truth. And then we enter the part that children don't know that they can speak up. I think that's the most painful part. Children don't know they can speak up. Children don't know they can. When somebody abuses a child, their biggest fear is how they will be asked how they contributed to it. What did you do? Why did you go there? Why did you enter his room when he called you? And unfortunately, it is still the same parents who did not provide any quality sex education that expect the child to suddenly know what to do when they're in an awkward situation. You know, last night I was writing a very painful experience that happened to me when I was about 9 years old. And my music teacher molested me. So incidentally, I became an adult before I realized that, oh, that was molestation. I was an adult. I was a full adult before I knew that, whoa, that was molestation. I entered his office. I saw that he locked the door. Nothing occurred to me. I didn't know what to do. I mean, it didn't even occur to me that, oh, you could bang the window, you could scream, you could shout, you could do nothing. That day, grace saved me because when he locked me inside that room, the security of the school came around to just inspect the place. I don't know whether that man saw me going and he wanted to save me. I don't know what happened that day. Till today, I don't know if the man is even still alive because he was quite an elderly man at the time. And he just walked past. And when he walked past, he knocked and asked him to come out and called his attention to talk about something. So as soon as he opened the door and asked him to come out and called him to have a conversation, I came out and ran home. I ran home and never told my mom until 3 years ago. 3 years ago, random conversation, I just brought it up. It was the first time I was saying it to my mom. It was also the first time I was like saying it publicly. So things can happen to kids and they don't even know they can speak up. And so there's a part where they can't speak up because I'm going to be asked, what did I go to do there? Then there's a part they can't speak up when they've made mistakes. Now, so we have the age, let's say kids 0 to 11, someone touches them inappropriately. They don't know to speak up. That one is different. Then you have the ones where they've feared up, they've made a mistake. They too don't know that they should come back to their parents and speak up. So in the end, the biggest part that is missing is the parent's role to this thing. One of the biggest parts that is missing is the parent's role to say, even if you make a mistake, come, I'm going to listen to you. If someone touches you inappropriately, I'm going to listen to you. Come and tell me. Even if you made a mistake and went to a house I had told you not to go, still come and tell me. And that's how we started the boot camp this year. That's the first thing we taught the kids in 3 to 5. If mommy has told you not to visit someone, my mom would tell me to go for prayer. I'm telling you. And this is the thing. Oh, this is the thing. So that's how we even started the 3 to 5 class, telling them, even if you went where mommy told you not to go, if someone touches you inappropriately, still tell mommy. Because sometimes children think that the discipline from their parents is worse than what the person has done. So children grow up to fear what parents will do to them when they hear that someone abused them. And so you know that when that is happening, there's a lot of misinformation. There's, especially on the part of our parents to children, there's a lot of misinformation. Some children are scared of being labeled. Some children are scared of maybe mom had warned them, dad had warned them, they still went and this happened. A friend said her mom will use it to abuse me later. Do you understand? So we are, see, in the sex education journey, there's knowledge gap and there's relationship gap. There's knowledge gap, children are not hearing, and the thing is they need both to go together. There's knowledge gap. Children are not getting adequate information to even know what abuse is, what it looks like, what it can be like. Kids don't know jack. Then on the other hand, there's relationship gap. When people exploit them, kids are not speaking up as much as they should. Kids are not speaking up. And sometimes I also see a situation where I also see situations where parents also don't want the kids to speak up. They don't want to lose relationships. I mean, you hear situations where somebody say, no, 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 no. We have to resolve this at the family level. Once there's molestation involved, we're not resolving it at the family level. We're dealing with the pedophile. I mean, yesterday something happened in my neighborhood, right? I nearly lost my senses. I was coming back from, I think I went to do small back to school shopping with my daughters. As I was driving back through an angle of my estate, I met one man that is already has some kind of reputation for being a nuisance. I met him in front of his house, and there's this teenage girl, 14, not more than 14, 15, looking very naive, pretty thing, fair, beautiful girl like this. Just standing there, he stood in his gate, he's talking and talking and talking and talking. My brain went wild. In my mind, I started saying, babe, is it really this man that is making you feel upset? Or is the fact that you think, is it a trigger? Is he triggering me, or is it legitimate agitation? And so one of the things that made me think about last night, I sat up at midnight to write about it. One of the things that taught me last night was that all of us need to start being alert, because there's already gap. So in your neighborhood, you see an elderly man, you see an old man trying to talk to a small girl, put your hand over the girl's shoulder and move right away from there. Ask him, wetin you dey tell her? Be smiling, so oga, wetin you dey tell her now? How exam? What class are you? How old are you? Make you for call the age, make the man follow here. Because there's so much sickening things happening in the world today. There's so many sickening things happening in the world today. So this kind of thing just means that we all need to, number one, let teach our children sex education, and then teach them these people that want to abuse you. This is their strategy. Somebody starts to tell you you're the favorite niece, you're the favorite uncle, you're the favorite nephew. That's grooming. He buys things for everybody in the house, but he buys your own a little bit special. You know, he starts to play as well. Okay. So I've said it. The first thing I've said is there's a knowledge gap. Kids don't know abuse. Kids don't know when they're being groomed. Kids don't know what it looks like, because kids were designed to be, naive and everything. But as the world is going crazy, it's our responsibility to close up on that. Then we also have situations where kids can't speak up. I've talked about abuse. Let me now talk about kids speaking up after they've made a mistake. So many of us are saying, I've told my son no, I've told my daughter, the moment you see pop-up saying this, close it. It's not every time they will have the strength to close it. But if they've opened it, can they come back to you to say, Mommy, Daddy, I made this mistake. Oh. Mommy, Daddy, I opened something I was not supposed to open. Because one of the things we taught them at the bootcamp was accountability. If you've done something wrong, you have to speak up to someone in authority so that they can help put you in check, because Satan needs them to keep secrets. I don't know how to say this again. Satan needs your children to keep secrets with the issues that they have. Satan needs them to hide that they are masturbating. Satan needs them to hide that they're watching porn. Satan needs them to hide that they've done crazy things. And so, one of the kids asked me that if I've done wrong, can I just apologize to God and let it go? I say, well, God wants accountability. When you apologize to God, there's still the element of no one knows, because there's no one that can stand up when you're going to do wrong. Like the Holy Spirit is not, you can't see God with your physical eyes to say, don't do that again, right? So I told them that apologizing to God, repenting is priority, but they have to speak up to a parent. But the question is, how will parents receive them should they come back to say, I made this mistake? As a parent, I'm asking you, if your child walked up to you and said they watched porn again and they need help, what would you do? First, will your child have the courage to come back to you? Because that's the system. It's a whole strategy, it's a whole structure. We're teaching, we're providing relationship, and we're standing as accountability partners. Parenting today means that you're going to be an accountability partner too. Look all over the internet. There's so much junk online. Children don't need to go to search for porn to see porn. It's all over the place. It's in comedy, it's in Celebrity social media handles is everywhere. If you're raising a child today, you have to be ready to be the accountability partners. Parenting today includes being an accountability partner. Your child did something wrong, they can come back to you and says this, that. All right? So I've said 3 things. I'll recap again. Number 1, kids don't know enough. Remember, I'm the advocate of age-appropriate sex education. So this is not me saying, say what your child shouldn't say. No. This is me saying, our children don't know body safety. Our children don't know when they're being abused. Some children don't know when they're being groomed to be abused. And that's why sex education is critical. They should know what abuse is, the very idea that anybody can abuse, the different situations in which people can abuse, how the abusers behave before they abuse. Our children should know all of these nuances before firsthand. So that's one gap. The second gap is our children don't know that they can come back and tell us. If something goes wrong, they imagine what you would do. Even sometimes little, much younger ones imagine that they'll be flogged that someone abused them, because it has not been clearly said that if something like this ever happens, this is what you should expect. If someone ever touches you inappropriately, this is what you should expect. So children grow up with a lot of assumption. That's why many people that abuse children go scot-free. The children imagine what parents' response will be. They imagine that, oh, mommy will flog me, mommy will report to this, grandma will hear, auntie this will hear, auntie that will hear. Ah, they're going to blame me. You know, mommy had said I shouldn't be collecting sweet, and I went and collected sweet. So they blame themselves. That's gap number 2. Gap number 3, when our children make mistakes. So now the first gap of not talking to mom and dad, it comes from they don't know how to report abuse. Now, the second part of speaking up is when they carry their hand and go online and search for something or watch something, right? When they go online and watch something they're not supposed to watch or do something they're not supposed to do, would they come to you? Because one of the lies Satan is telling them is to confess to God and walk away. But me and you know that when you confess to God without another person being involved. But the question is, if your child opens up and they're vulnerable to you, will they survive you? Eh? Will your child, so if your child opens up to you and said, Mommy, last night I watched something inappropriate, and I knew I shouldn't have, I said that, will your child confess to you? If they have to be caught for you to correct them, then we have not yet started. If your child has to be caught to be corrected, then we are not yet there. I keep telling, if you're parenting today, your child is most likely to struggle with 2 issues. One is morality, the other is mental health. Those are the 2 plaguing issues for this generation, morality and mental health, which is why as a parent, you need to position to support both ways. So if you have to catch your child for them to speak up, then something is missing, And this thing that I'm saying, it's for all of us. I'm a parent too. It's for all of us. It's for all of us. Your child does something wrong without you knowing, and they walk up to you and say, Mommy, I did this again today. I made a mess. I shouldn't have done this. What do we do? You know when to pray for that. You know how to sit them down and say, did this. We need to get there. Then the next thing I want to talk about, which is my last point for tonight, we really need to be careful about Western values. We need to be very careful with Western values. White is not always right, Please, if you can hear me, type in the comment section, white is not always right. Right? If you can hear me, just leave a comment. White is not always right. So we're trying to raise our children, our girls, for example, to be people who honor themselves. And then we are mixing it with a lot of Western values that are conflicting. The Western values are conflicting. A child that you've not given thorough sex education, you're preparing her for prom. Are we okay? The child has not had adequate sex education. She doesn't know what it means to honor herself. She doesn't know what it means for a man to abuse her. She doesn't know what it means to be respected in a relationship. And you sewed a dress for her to go for prom. And you're coming to tell me how you're wondering whether she will kiss today or not. Are we, Ashe, everything is okay, ba? Are we okay? I teach kids not to act on their crushes. You sit in your house and say, I cannot walk, or they must act on their crush. You be feel yourself. Me, I'm trying to help them see that there's another pathway. Having crushes is not wrong. You can feel it, don't act on it, because half of the time, their brain is still a child's brain. But you are sitting down at home and telling them, once you're 15, you can date. And you don't even have enough relationship to teach. Science is saying that children's brains are still evolving until they are 20 something. Their brain is still changing. Their puberty brain is still changing till they're 22. And you put your princess out there because White says they date at one point. You put your little girl out there when her brain is still crazy. Married women are still making sick decisions in their relationships, and you put a little girl out there because white guys say their kids start to date at prom, have sex at 16, do what they want. They're old enough to make a decision. What the hell are you saying? What are you telling me? Help me understand. Help me get it. Help me get it. The child doesn't have support at home. The child doesn't have education. The child doesn't have resources. The child is not in an accountability circle. The child is nothing. The child is just excited to do what she sees in the movies, and you back it up. And someone say, you don't know these children. No. These children, they want to experiment. They want to experiment. No, only bored children experiment. When you fill your children's lives with activities, they won't have time for most of these things. They don't have time for these things. We need to feel, so, that's the other thing I'm having a problem with. I think Bible-based sex education, but sometimes I know that we're raising our church kids boring. Life is too drab for them. It's like they either are crazy or they have fun. They either are crazy or they are bored. It's as if the world has the groove, and it's not true. It's not true. We just need to create small pockets and circles of exciting experiences for these kids. It's not true. The way we're doing them in also raising them in Christian family, the way we're raising them, they can't dance, they can't do anything. So it makes the world compelling, it makes the world attractive, it makes the world worth going to. That's the other problem we have. It makes the world worth running towards. Me that has dreamed that my daughters will buy a private jet when they're what age, and name the private jet John 3:16 and be doing big things with their lives. You're making it look as if once they dance and move their body is sin. Meanwhile, you're afraid of something happening, yet you're not educating them on it. So instead of teaching our kids, we project our fear, we scare them, we make them sneak around, and we have a bigger problem on our plate. You get the idea? So for me, Bible-based sex education is priority. There's no alternative. And why is there no alternative? It's because the empowering part of Romans 6:14 that says, sin will not have dominion over me. Sin will not control me. And so it's like God is showing us the pathway. What's the pathway to raising a generation that their flesh is not controlling them? But if God designed the flesh to want entertainment, to want dance, we should be able to have a gathering of teenagers and pay decent musicians to come in there. Can you imagine carrying a Moses Bliss to hang out on your teen's birthday, where they sing, they dance, they rock, And then they ask him questions about how are you staying in there? You probably don't make as much as we kid. So what keeps you going? And they start to learn about their own journeys. See, if we want our kids to choose purity, it will not be from a rule point of view. It will be from a relationship working with God. And I was telling the teenagers at the boot camp that if they think Jesus is boring, then they've not been with him. If they think Jesus is uptight, then they've not been with him. If they think Jesus doesn't laugh, then they've not been with him. So what kind of Jesus are you presenting to your kids? Because if you're presenting the kind of Jesus that they need to sneak around to have fun because they don't think there's quite a lot of fun in him, then we need to sit again and say, wait a minute. Which Jesus are we exactly talking about? So you see the gaps now. You see the gaps. So I said, we finished bootcamp. It's been 6 days of engaging time, working with girls aged 3 to 17. Gap number one, our kids don't know jack. They don't know when somebody's grooming them. Many of our kids don't know. They don't know the signs. They don't know the symptoms. They don't know what abuse is. Many of our kids don't know what abuse is. They don't know different things. They don't know when someone is luring them. They don't know that they don't know that when someone is saying, you're my favorite man, they just know that, for instance, we know how to run around with cliche sex education, like parents say, I've taught them private and public parts. Bam. And then the parents say, nobody should call you my wife. Oh. But these days, they're smart. They don't use my wife anymore. You're the one I like the most among your siblings. Do you know that it's sex education to tell your children, don't accept anybody that tells you that they like you more than your brother? It's sex education. It's something they will use for different things. They'll use it when people want to molest them. They'll use it when people want to mess up with their sibling. You get the idea? They will use it. Our kids, then I moved from that and said, there's a knowledge gap that if somebody touches me inappropriately, I can speak up. So they think that they'll be blamed if they speak up. Then there's another gap where if the child has done wrong, they can't come back to parents for accountability. And I'm saying if you're parenting today, there has to be room for you to be a parent that is also your child's accountability partner. If you have to catch your child doing wrong for them to speak up, something is not quite right. It's not about getting caught. It's about a conviction that they did wrong and they need help to turn around. So I told them at the camp that telling God that you're sorry is just the first step. The Bible says, confess your wrongs one to another. When you confess your wrongs one to another, accountability kicks in. You get the idea? And then I came to the part where we think that white is right. White is not always right. White is not always right. White is not always right. I know in the world today, in fact, I teach the girls as well. I said there are many organizations that are fighting for a lot of things. They're fighting to get girls to be on family planning, they're making sure condoms are coming. And when they come into your schools, they are not a church. They are not going to teach you about abstinence because they don't believe that young people can abstain. And growing up as a child, you can have the conviction that young people cannot abstain. But the reason why young people could not abstain in a time was because there were no support systems. There was a Bible-based sex education that was missing. You didn't have the right support system. So it means that the problem is not that young people cannot abstain. The problem is that the right support system is not in place. And everything I'm talking about today is part of the support system that young people need to make responsible decisions. That means when we put the support systems in place that prevent abuse, that encourage them to speak up, that encourage them to be accountable, that refuses to copy just anything out there, and then we mobilize the support our kids need, then we're on our way to making progress. And then the final thing I want to put out there for tonight is that we don't reckon that our family backgrounds colors the kind of decisions our children will make in terms of sexuality. So let me explain. Big English. Big English for the fact that if you and your husband are fighting, your children are looking for escape, the opposite sex can be an escape. That means if you're a single parent or a parent that your relationship with your husband is volatile, or with your wife is one kind. Your children don't feel safe at home. They don't feel secured at home. So in the heat of this puberty, they are searching for someone who sees them, loves them, accepts them. And remember, they have a wrong interpretation of what's happening at home. Some of them blame themselves because blame themselves for the problems their parents have. So they show up in the world looking for relationships, and they're looking for love in the wrong places. That means if you and your children have gone through any form of trauma, if you have a child that has been abused, if you have, you need to slow down and ask yourself, what's the impact of this experience that my child has had? What's the impact of this experience on their overall quality of decisions, quality of self-perception, and quality of their life? So I've said quite a lot already. It's 40 minutes on the dot. So leave me a comment. Tell me something you've heard tonight. Leave me a comment. Tell me something you've heard tonight. So, and those of you that are out there watching on YouTube, whatever you do, subscribe tonight. Share the link of the channel. Get more people coming in. The more people we see on that channel, the more videos we will record. And so in the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a series answering sex education questions that kids have the Bible way. Bible way means, how does God need you to answer this question? You know, some people think that the Bible way means you won't call body parts what it is, you won't speak truth, but it's not in this tabernacle. God created every part of the body, should be called as such. But what are God honoring ways in which we can teach the next generation about sex and sexuality? So I've answered the questions: where do babies come from? How do you answer it to a 3 to 5 year old? Where do babies come from for a 6 to 8 year old? And recently, just yesterday, we uploaded another video saying, if your child went to school and heard something inappropriate, how do you address that? So let me see comments. My YouTube audience is exciting. Thank you, Inyechi. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everyone watching on YouTube tonight. I'm very grateful. So now, if you're not watching on YouTube after the show, all you need to do is get online, get on YouTube and search for Raising Girls with Irene Bangwell, and then you'd be able to see all the past videos I've done. So what are we planning to do for you as Raising Girls community? What are we planning to do? So we got a lot of feedback from our parents. Got a lot of feedback about our parents. Parents completed our review forms. And one thing that became abundantly clear to us is that parents want a physical boot camp. So the first thing I'm going to be saying tonight is that, oh, Shola said, one thing she picked tonight is that you have to be an accountability partner. Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. I'm seeing all the love. I'm seeing all the love. I'm seeing all the love. Thank you so much. So parents are saying that they want physical boot camp. And so one of the things I want to announce tonight is that in August, we're going to be having a physical boot camp. However, we're going to be having both. We're going to have both physical and virtual, not at the same time. So we're going to be having a physical boot camp for girls aged 9 to 17. That's the older girls. And we're going to be having this boot camp in 2 locations. We're going to have one boot camp in Lagos, of course. Lagos is where our biggest audiences are. So Lagos boot camp, physical. So I don't know if someone can help me type that we're having a Lagos boot camp. For Lagos boot camp, just type Lagos boot camp. Let me be sure everyone has heard me. So we're going to be having a physical boot camp in Lagos in August. Physical. We'll tell you about the number of days, and all of those details will be available sometime in June. We're also going to have a physical boot camp in Abuja. Yeah, we're going to start in Lagos and then come back home to Abuja. So yes, we're going to have a physical boot camp in Lagos and Abuja. And then the following week, we're going to have our virtual boot camps for all the girls in other locations that could not make it to the physical boot camp. So, so more of those details will be available in the weeks to come. I've not yet seen anybody type Lagos bootcamp and Abuja bootcamp. Maybe they don't want us to do the bootcamp physically. Maybe you don't want us to do the bootcamp. Do you want us to do the bootcamp? I'm not sure why comments are dropping very sparingly. Welcome, Muniri. Thank you so much. All right. Beautiful. Thank you for all of the love. Thank you for all of the love. All right. So I see Lagos bootcamp. Yeah. Lagos bootcamp in August. Yeah. And then there's going to be an Abuja bootcamp. All right. Abuja bootcamp is also coming up in um, in August as well. So if you have relatives living in this town that your kids will be holidaying with, that makes sense. That makes it perfect. So that's what we're going to be starting, okay? But we still have a virtual bootcamp for all the locations where we cannot hold a physical bootcamp yet. So that's what we're starting tonight. So it's a yes. I'm going to be in Lagos with my team. And you know, we're building this amazing team of body smart coaches, body smart girl coaches that are piece of cake awesome. The girls experienced a number of them this during this boot camp. So I look forward to a lot more. So that's the first part. The second part is this our resource I keep talking about all the time, the Body Smart Girl bundle. So, you know, as I was setting up this workstation for the session tonight, I just thought about what it means to be body smart. You know, I talked about this little girl I walked past and that man was talking to her yesterday. A body smart girl is a girl who knows the nuances of body safety. She knows when somebody is not okay. She knows when somebody wants to take advantage of her. And it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yes, you just posted, Onyechi, you just posted that at the right time. A body smart girl knows when she's being groomed. I remember this one time I went with my daughter somewhere and someone came out. It might have been innocent. It might have been innocent. And this man came out, started asking, I mean, we're all sitting down there, started asking one of my daughters in particular and said, come now, come and walk with me inside, come and walk with me inside. And she looked at him and said, no, thank you. And when the man left, she looked at me and said, Mom, that was awkward. How do I go inside to walk with him? So it was not a question of her following to go there, and start calling her back, come back, come back, come back. So a body smart girl knows, I know English don't finish. A body smart girl knows when she's being groomed. A body smart girl knows when a boy is asking her to hang out with him for ulterior motives. A body smart girl knows when she's vulnerable, when she's having a crush. She knows that right now I'm not thinking straight, okay? So let me tell you one more time about the bundle. So I see parents coming to buy the bundle and then they'll say, I want to buy the bundle. And then they'll say, I want to buy the book for parents. So the book for parents is a part of the bundle already, okay? So when you buy the Body Smart Girl bundle, it comes to the parents book. This book is titled How to Talk with Your Girls About Sex. I've talked a lot tonight about how parents are not talking to their kids. But if you got this book, you will know how to talk to all your children, different age range. You know how to do that. It comes in all the bundles, whether you're buying the bundle for a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, whatever age, this book comes in the bundle. So you don't need to buy this extra, all right? So you don't need to buy this extra, all right? So this is How to Talk with Your Girls About Sex. This book alone is 5,500. Someone wants to buy just this book alone. This book alone is 5,500 naira, okay? Meanwhile, I need to open my, you know, I have a boss. If you notice, there's Raising Girls. Raising Girls is still on this call. So that should tell you that I have a boss that is waiting to hear whether I will talk the wrong price. So we have this bundle, right? This is the book. Hey, someone is saying Port Harcourt. Okay, I see 2 people in Port Harcourt. All right, I'll make a post. And if you're in Port Harcourt, if I see 50 people in Port Harcourt, we're coming to Port Harcourt. All right. So this is, by the way, Port Harcourt is where I grew up. I don't know if people know. I have history in Port Harcourt. Okay. All right. So this is the book for parents. But then I now have all these books for the girls. This is the book for 3 to 5-year-olds. This is the book for 15 to 17-year-olds. This is the book for 6 to 8-year-olds, for 9 to 11, for 12 to 14. And that's not all. Each age group has a book and a set of flashcards, all right? So if a parent wants to start conversations and they don't know how to start, they just play it like a game. Parents ask a question, the child answers. So now this book alone is 5,500. If you bought this whole bundle, which is this book, 5 books for all ages and 5 sets of cards, is 25,500 naira. And if you buy it this April, we do free shipping to your city. We do free shipping. Okay, no, we don't have PDF copy. The Body Smart Girl bundle does not have a PDF copy, but we have this. We have soft copy of this book. I think it's 3,000 or 2,500. I don't know. I need to remember now. So, but the bundle itself is not available in soft copy because it's a coloring book. Okay, someone said, what about for boys? You know, we work for girls. My handle is raisinggirls.ng. Instagram did not let us go live today. So Raising Girls, please comment, let me pin so that you can pin, you can go to our main handle. I couldn't go live on our Raising Girls handle, so I came out. That's why I'm going live on Iron Bangor. But if you're looking for a boys coach, there's an amazing boys coach that I always like to recommend. He has amazing resources and experiences for kids. His name is Ebuka Boys Coach. Just search for Ebuka Boys Coach on Instagram, you would find him. So let me get the price list. So now you don't have to buy the whole bundle, okay? You don't have to buy the whole bundle. So if you're looking to buy just, let me try to see if I can get the price list. Okay, this is going to be a long shot. Raising Girls, so Raising Girls, you want to post that broadcast that helps people know how they can buy the whole bundle as a comment. So let me look for I don't know the prices by heart, my darlings. There are many things in a human being's head, okay? So let me go to, I'm going to get the prices now. Give me a moment. So for my own is if you buy the full bundle today, or before 30th, good. You get it, you get free shipping, 25,500. By the way, this April is the only time we're selling the bundle at 25,500 because it contains 11 resources inside. So now if you decided to say you want to buy only for 3 to 5 year olds, the bundle is 8,500, but that does not include shipping. So it will have 3 resources for you. Yep, you get the idea. It will have parents' book, the girls' book, and the game cards for that age. So for 3 to 5, it is 8,500. For 6 to 8, it is 9,500. For 9 to 11, it is 10,500. For 12 to 14 and 15 plus, is the same price for those two age group, is 11,500. So these prices are our anniversary promo. That means these are discounted prices right about now. These prices are discounted prices. So all you need to do is send us a DM and say bundle, bundle, bundle. I want bundle, I want bundle. I will give you a breakdown of all of this. You can pay online, you can pay. But what we're doing is, because we're doing free shipping, we're going to finish we're doing bulk shipping, bulk deliveries. So we need to finish the promo completely and then we start shipping. All right. So we have 3 types of bundle. Okay. So Raising Girls has posted it there. All right. So that's the second thing I want to talk about. The third thing I want to talk about is we want to start 2 distinct programs at Raising Girls. One is a parenting circle, a girl parenting circle. So if a parent is raising girls, we want to take you on into like an academy where on a monthly basis, we're breaking down what it means to raise a girl today. So let me give you an instance. I was telling a friend yesterday, I said intelligent girls make dumb sex decisions many times. And it's not unusual for you as a parent to focus so much on academics and think that because your child is doing well at school, academically, they're fine. Girls that are doing well at school academically, when they're choosing boys, they don't use the same sense they used to pass exams. So we want to be able to sit with parents and say, look, this is what it means to raise a girl that is well-rounded. So now someone is asking, what if you want to buy the bundle for 2 different ages? We will deduct the price of the parenting book in the second. So let's say you want to buy 3 to 5 and 6 to 8, that 8,500 and 9,500. The bundle cost for the single book is 4,500 when you buy as a bundle. So we deduct 4,500 and give you the rest. So you can do the math, send us a chat, and we'll be able to help you out with that. Remember, buying other bundles don't come with free shipping. So we're starting a mentoring circle for parents where girl parents come every month. We sit down and work on different things. If a child has been through a traumatic experience, how might this impact on their choices? What can you do to help them heal? We'll be able to bring in professionals as well to come sit down with us and break this thing down. We'll set goals. At the same time, while we're doing the parent circle, we're also opening a club. Yes, we're also opening a club for girls, a mentorship circle for girls, again for girls age 9 to 17. So we have a framework called the 10 over 10 girl framework. And that framework is what we're going to be using for both parents and the girls. So if you're a parent, we'll be showing you your own angle to 10 over 10 girl. And if it's a girl, we'll now be showing them their own angle. So we're opening these 2 programs up in the month of May. Yep, we're opening up the programs in the month of May. And so if you would be interested to join the circle, it would help. So for starters, the parenting circle is supposed to be a 1 year program, but we want people to pay for only 6 months as we're starting. And then they can determine at the end of 6 months if it's worth the journey. Yeah. We want them to decide that I want to go ahead. We don't want someone to pay for 1 year and be stuck. So we want them to just pay for 1 year, for 6 months. And then at the end of 6 months, we can sit down and say, did this make a difference? All right. So Mena Delish, you're on YouTube. I'm going to come back to your comment. I'll send you a message on how we can follow you up so that you can get into the mentoring. Okay. So for both you and your daughter. So so let me take it one at a time. For the mentoring circle for parents, it's 10,000 naira per month. But if you pay for 6 months, you pay 50,000 naira. Yeah. It's 10,000 per month. If you pay for 6 months, it's 50,000. And then people who pay for that 6 months, we have a beautiful kit we mail to you to celebrate you for joining the 10 over 10 Girl Tribe. So if you're interested, send us a message. So it's 10,000 a month, but 50K if you pay for 6 months. We don't want you to pay for 1 year. Let's just start and then come back and tell us if this has been worth your time. It's about the same thing for girls, but we allow for the girls, for parents to pay quarterly. And quarterly is 25K for the girls. While it's 10,000 naira a month, it's 25K for the girls. All right, 25K per quarter. So you can also do 50K for your daughter for 6 months, and let's go on the ride. After 6 months, we come back and say, well, did that work out well? What do we need to change? Is it worth the try? So that's a lot. So first and foremost, I've said a lot of things. I've finished talking about the gaps, and then I'm talking now about how we're going to support you. Don't forget that the first way we support you is that we create solid content on Instagram. We do free live sessions like tonight, and then we're steadily putting up stuff on YouTube, helping you answer your children's sex education questions. Because if you're answering their questions, then you're building a relationship, then they can always come back to you. So don't ever forget that where we start out is our free classes that happen sometimes on a weekly basis. Yeah, we're having free classes. We're putting out content daily on Instagram, solid content, and then we're putting out videos on YouTube that you can use and reuse and reuse. Also, I talked about physical boot camps coming. I see people lobbying for Port Harcourt. I see people lobbying for Port Harcourt, and as I'm hearing Port Harcourt is calling me because I have I have some friends that touch my heart in Port Harcourt. So we just might put in Port Harcourt on the journey. All right, just make sure my daughters don't hear you because they'll be calculating how many weeks, how many days mom is going to be away from home. All right. So we have physical boot camps coming. I've confirmed Lagos and Abuja. I will confirm Port Harcourt in the weeks to come. And then I talked about the Body Smart Girl bundle. I've told parents that are ordering, you don't need to buy this separately if you're buying the bundle because it's already included in the bundle. So the bundle is packed in such a way that there's a resource for parents and there's a resource for the kids. I've talked about that. I've also talked about the mentoring circles we are opening for girls and for their parents, two different programs entirely. And the fee for both, they actually have the same fee, I think. Yeah, it's 10,000 naira a month for each. So, but for the parents' angle, you want to go, we want you to pay for only 6 months. Don't do the full year. We want only 6 months, and then for the 6 months, you get to pay 50K, and then you get a special pack from us welcoming you to the community, and then the girls as well. But the girls, we allow you, we give you permission to pay quarterly 25,000, 25,000. Now, if you're listening to me right now, I'm going to give you a phone number to store. Should you wait tomorrow, should you send us a message and you don't hear from us, hit that phone number and ask, what is going on? I need to get on the mentoring program. Let me end by saying that the mentoring program is going to be a small circle, especially the one for the girls. We're trying to keep it a small circle to keep it effective. I know one of my friends has told me to run 2 cohorts. I'm not sure I can run 2 cohorts because I run a school. I have a day job. I run a school too. So I want to keep it small enough for it to be effective, and it will be wonderful. It will be wonderful. It will be impactful in every way you can imagine. Raising Girls, you want to type the number, or I could just type it now. The number is 08100 944320. So I've posted it. I'm going to pin it now. So there's a number that I have pinned. You can take a picture of it. 08100944320. So I thought I pinned that. Please, do I want to pin that? Yep, I pinned it. Yeah. So it's on the screen. You can take a screenshot so you can always come back to this number. Send us a WhatsApp. Calling is great, but also send us a WhatsApp is the quickest way for us to move things across to you. So reach out to that number. If it's for the girl parenting, if it's for the girls, send us a text with the word mentoring. If it's for the parenting program, send us the word parenting circle. So for the girls is mentoring, for the parents is whatever it is, just tell us parents and girls and we'll be able to attend to you. So I'm going to be closing the curtains here right about now, even though I would like to answer some questions. I just like us to know that we will not be publicly posting about the mentoring circle for the girls. So if you're looking out to comment on our Instagram post, it's not going to be online. We won't be talking about it because we want to take a small number of people. And as I'm talking to you, I think 18 parents have already indicated interest. And so if we're trying to keep the circle small, that's already getting to be a lot. So we'll not post publicly about the mentoring circle. It's going to be small, but we'll post and invite parents to join the community, okay? So having said that, store this number and I want to answer questions. So I'm hearing Port Harcourt, I'm hearing Port Harcourt people are moving. Port Harcourt people are powerful. All they need to do is promise me solid native soup and we will fly this kite and come. All right. I want to thank everyone for coming. Right now, and I would like to answer questions that you may have based on anything I may have said tonight. Thank you so much, sis Sandra. Thank you. Thank you. Seeing you here throughout tonight has made a big difference. I apologize to everyone that had to go to Raising Girls and come back here. Sometimes it can be like that. It can be like that. So I saw a disturbing video about kids and I didn't realize I shouldn't have posted it. I tried to post it, and as soon as I posted, Instagram brought it down. That was like on Friday. So I hear that I am in a prison. I can't go live. So I'm just trusting God that they will set me free. Right now, we need this their platform. So I'm thank everyone for coming out. And if you're not following us on YouTube or you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to do that right away. All you need to do is get on our handle, Raising Girls with Irene Bangwell, and like the YouTube channel. And let's do this. And thank everyone for coming out. I'm waiting for questions. What is the name of my school? So I run a charity school. I run a school for poor children in a community in FCT called Kuje. School fees to my school is 100 naira a day. So poor kids come to my school to get quality education. I'm trying to give Nigeria used to be the world's poverty capital. We just moved by a step. And so if a lot of our people are poor, we need to give their children the kind of education that helps them get out of poverty. So in September 2019, my husband and I went into a community and set up a school that the fee is 100 naira a day. So it's called the NOSC 100 naira a day school. So we are on Instagram as at NOSC Education. So you can go ahead and check us out. Yeah, at NOSC Education. I hope I've typed it. Yeah, at NOSC Education. At NOSC Education, yep. So the 100 naira a day school. And so our children are creative, they're innovative. And so that's the school that I run. So the school is non-profit and a school. So I'm always looking for donors for my people. I'm always fundraising. I'm always, yeah. So because of that, I have to do both work because both of them, God has asked me to do both. So, but I have to do them in a way that they complement each other and we still do decent work at both ends. So if you work very closely with me, you will notice that every time the term begins, that month I'm going to be a little slow. So like the month of May, I'm going to be a little slow on social media because my students are back in the building. And so if you're listening to me, you also like to support the kids at the North Condor Day School by making a donation. Please send me a private message and say, I'm interested in the kids at the North. So their fee is 100 naira a day, and for 100 naira a day, they get books, uniform, lunch, and the girls get monthly sanitary pads. So obviously, it's not their money that keeps them in school. So, but we have a model whereby 10 people donating 100 naira a day can keep one child in school. Yeah, so if you're out there and you'd like to support the kids in school with any donation of any amount, or your organization is looking out to support charities, we're inviting you to please support the kids at the NOSC. So yeah, They pay 100 naira a day, which comes to 6,000 naira a term, but it is 66,000 naira that covers them per term. That 66,000 covers lunch, uniform. There are sometimes that the school bags are torn and you have to buy school bags. Sometimes it's the shoe. You have staff members contributing money to buy a school bag for a child or something. And so, that kind of thing. So if you're out there and you'd like to support the work we do at the North Culinary Day School, it will really make my day. It will really make my day. Thank you so much. So yeah, thank you. Someone is promising me native soup and bole. How could I forget bole and fish around mile 3? I have to think about this thing. Port Harcourt is calling. Port Harcourt is calling. And my bestie is from River State, so she can organize a lot of stuff to make my trip and stay in Port Harcourt worth the while. So I want to thank everyone that came out tonight. Thank you for your faith. Thank you for sending your daughters to the boot camp. We've seen your feedback. Okay. I also needed to say this: the virtual camps will no longer be one day. We will do shorter sessions, multiple days. We'll give you updates as that comes. I want you to know that at every point in time, we're taking your comment, we're taking your feedback, and we're ensuring that we serve you. Okay? We're ensuring. Thank you so much, Mena. We're ensuring that we serve you and your girls. So forgive us when sometimes we're not meeting your expectations. As long as you give us feedback, we're going to implement and make sure we do our best. So yeah, there'll be virtual boot camps, but it will be multiple days, shorter sessions, not more than 1 hour. And it will be fun and it will be interesting. We'll give the girls even more room to ask questions. Like our question and answer sessions have always been amazing. So can we get a replay of this, my yes, darling? You can get it right on this handle. You can also get it on our YouTube channel. I'm streaming right now on YouTube as well. Raising Girls with Irene Banwell. So you'll be able to see it so that you can tag as many friends as possible. So I thank everyone that came out tonight. And I love you guys. And I love your girls. And every time I wake up, I just see what they can be. And I don't want abuse to get in the way. I don't want their lack of knowing who they are to get in the way. I don't want them in dysfunctional relationships. I don't want them in dysfunctional marriages. I don't want them tolerating abuse from a partner. And so every day when I say I'm raising 10 over 10 girls, this is why I do what I do. And so I look forward to welcoming all your girls that are coming into the mentoring circle. Let me tell you something. If you give me your daughter to mentor her, I will blow her brains. I know she's going to wake up one day and refuse to settle for mediocrity, not even from herself. So if you trust me with that, I give you results. Okay. I want to thank everyone. Thank you. So for girls in boarding, we're going to do a different circle for them. So whenever they're coming for midterm, we will meet with them, right? So we've already started thinking about the girls in boarding. So we'll put them in a small circle where we meet with them during midterm, during holiday, special stuff. And we're still playing with the idea that girls in our mentoring circle don't pay to be at the boot camp. So they'll be attending boot camp on scholarship free. It's complimentary because they're like they're the assistant coaches inside the class. If you people leave me, I'm not going to leave this place. So I love talking about my girls. I know what potential that girls have. I know what they can be. And I know that God is the primary person that can help them get there in the most wholesome way. So thank you so much, Bukola. Thank you. I see Mafia. Thank you for joining. That name rings a lot of bell. Yes, the mentoring is virtual. The mentoring is virtual. All the mentoring sessions are virtual. It's just the boot camp that's coming in August that will be in Lagos and Abuja, and I think Port Harcourt. Yes. So the mentoring is virtual. So thank you everyone for coming. And remember that the handle to follow if you're on Instagram is raisinggirls.ng. I just happened to go live with this handle today because I couldn't go live with the Raising Girls handle. So please, please, please follow raisinggirls.ng. Send us messages there. Ask us whatever questions you have. And we look forward to welcoming you to the parent circle and the girls to the 10 over 10 girls circle as well. Thank you so much for staying with us tonight. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.